Greetings, banker, and thank you so much for agreeing to participate in the Teach Children to Save Day program. Without your help, we wouldn't be able to do this project. The lesson that I'm going to demonstrate for you now is designed for second graders, and it's based upon this book, Going to the Fair. When you get your packet, what you should find in it is a copy of the book, Going to the Fair. You'll have the lesson plan, and also, if your teacher, well, some of the teachers have overhead projectors, and some have smart boards or Elmo projectors in their classroom. If your teacher has an Elmo projector or a smart board, then you will not have any transparencies in your packet. But if your teacher does have an overhead projector, then you'll have a series of transparencies with these different sheets that you can use to display in the classroom. Those teachers who have smart boards have an electronic version of these worksheets, and they will have them prepared electronically so you can use them to display to show the children what to do. Now, before the lesson, the teacher will have this first activity with the piggy bank, and she has been instructed to have the children cut out the pig and cut out each of the coins, not in circles but in squares, just to make it a little bit easier for them. If some of the kids want to cut out circles, they could. But the teacher's instructed to have this sheet already prepared for you. I've asked you to bring some envelopes, one for each child in the class. And what the kids will do then is to tape or glue the pig to the side of the envelope. And they will use this as a piggy bank throughout the lesson. The other sheet that they will have on their desks for this lesson is this one that says Service and Income, that they'll use while you're reading the lesson. And the third one that they'll have ready for you is this one, where the students will be drawing some pictures. So those are the three that the teacher will have ready for you. So from your end, you really don't need to duplicate anything. The teacher will have duplicated those things for her students. So now we're going to go through this story and kind of show you how this will work in the classroom. So you would come in and say, "Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Mr. Jones, and I'm a banker from the ABC Bank. And I really enjoy being a banker because it gives me a chance to work with people. And I work with people who are saving money. Some people are saving a lot of money to buy maybe a house or a car. Sometimes I work with kids your age who are saving to maybe get a video game. And I also work with teenagers who might be saving to go to college. And it's really great to save your money because you might need it someday for something important. Today we're going to read a book about a boy who wants to do something. He wants to go to the fair, and he doesn't have any money to go to the fair, and his parents tell him if he wants to go, he's going to have to earn the money. And so in this story, the boy earns income, and he goes to the fair if he saves enough money. So let's see if John will have enough money to go to the fair. You should have with you on your desk your little pig, and I'm going to pass out envelopes so that you can tape your pig to the side of the envelope and use as a piggy bank. And you also should have your coins cut out. You should have 4 quarters, 5 dimes, 3 nickels, and 5 pennies. So make sure you have the right coins. You may not use all of them, but have them ready just in case. And you should also have this sheet on your desk. This sheet says Service and Income. We're going to find out that there are 2 kinds of things, boys and girls, goods and services. Goods are things that you can buy, and services are things that people do for you that you can spend money on. In the story, John is going to do some services, and when he does the services, he's going to earn income. Income is the money you earn from working or from getting it from someone. So John's going to do that. So let's begin reading about John going to the fair. "Papa," called John, "William's family is going to the World's Fair tomorrow. May I go with them?" "Son, it costs money to go to the fair," Papa said. "It costs 25 cents to get in. It costs more to go on rides. If you can earn the money, you can go." "Thanks, Papa," John said. "I have a plan. I'm going to earn $1. Then I can go to the fair. I can ride the Ferris wheel, too. I will go to town. There are lots of things I can do to earn money in town." Boys and girls, do you think this story happened yesterday or a long time ago? Well, you can tell by the way they're dressed, and look at the street. There are no cars on the street. So we can tell this happened a long time ago. And also by the prices. Can you go to a fair nowadays for $1? For 25 cents rather? Probably not. So John's going to go to town to earn some money. So have your piggy bank ready, and have your sheet ready, and listen very carefully to what John does and see if he earns his income. In town, John saw Mrs. Green. She was stacking apples for sale. "Can I do that for you?" John asked. "I need to earn some money. I'm going to the fair." "How wonderful," said Mrs. Green. "Then I will pay you to stack the apples. Will you sweep the porch, too?" "Oh, yes," said John. He stacked all the shiny red apples. He swept the dusty porch. "What good work," said Mrs. Green. "Here is a nickel." John put the nickel in his pocket. He said goodbye and walked to the newspaper office. Again, you can see by the way they're dressed, this happened a long time ago. So what were the two services that John performed? Right. He stacked apples and he swept the porch. So on this sheet, you're going to write stacked apples and swept the porch, and for income, we're going to put 5 cents. Now, at this point, you would write on the board $, decimal point, 0.05, so that the students can see how to write 5 cents. Now we'll go on to the next page. "Hello, Mr. Adams," John called. "I need to earn some money. I'm going to the fair. Will you let me sell your newspapers today?" "Yes," said Mr. Adams. "I will pay you 25 cents if you sell all the papers." John walked up and down the street. "Newspapers," he called. "The fair opens tomorrow. Read all about it." Mr. Adams was happy to pay John. "You did a good job," he told John. "I hope you will sell newspapers for me again soon." John smiled proudly. "I will," he said. Then he said goodbye, and soon he saw the ice wagon coming. So on your sheet, you're going to write service, selling newspapers, income, 25 cents. I'm sorry, is it 25 cents? Yes, 25 cents, I'm sorry. And also, the children will put 25 cents into their envelope, into their piggy bank. Soon John saw the ice wagon coming. Boys and girls, do you know what an ice wagon is for? Look at this. It's being pulled by a horse. So you know this is in the olden days. Well, in the olden days, people didn't have refrigerators like we have nowadays. They had a device in their kitchen that had a kind of a fan in it with a big cube of ice at the top, and the fan would blow through the ice and keep their milk and butter and eggs and the things that needed to be kept cold. And it was a heavy job to carry ice from the wagon into, and everyone had to have a big block of ice in their house every day, because what happens to ice at the end of the day? Right, it would melt. And it wouldn't leave a puddle on the floor because there would be a pan to catch all that. "Mr. Klein," John called, "I need to earn some money. I'm going to the fair. May I help you carry ice today?" "Yes," said Mr. Klein. "I can finish faster with your help." John helped Mr. Klein carry big blocks of ice to each house. It was hard work. It was cold work, too. Soon the ice was all gone. Then Mr. Klein and John sat in the back of the wagon to eat lunch. "Good work, John," said Mr. Klein. Mr. Klein gave John 2 shiny dimes. John was excited. "Thank you, Mr. Klein," he said. "Now I have 1 nickel, 1 quarter, and 2 dimes. So they're going to put the 2 dimes into their piggy bank. They're also going to take their other sheet and write down carry ice and 20 cents. And we can add this together, or they can count the coins in their envelope and say, "Children, how much money does John have now?" Right, he has 50 cents. How much was he planning to get? He was planning to get $1. So how much more does he need? Right, he has to earn 50 cents more. Let's see if he can. John counted his money. "I have 50 cents, he said. "I can go to the fair, but I still need to earn more money. What will I do next?" he wondered. Just then he heard Mr. Powers called. "John, my son is sick today. I need someone to help me at the bowling alley. Will you do it for 25 cents, Mr. Powers asked. "Oh, yes," said John. "I need to earn some money. I'm going to the fair." So now he's got a chance to earn another 25 cents. John spent the afternoon setting up bowling pins. He set up so many pins he couldn't even count them. He was very tired when he walked home, but he had another quarter in his pocket. So again, put a quarter in the piggy bank and add to the list, set up bowling pins and 25 cents. And boys and girls, look at this bowling alley. It looks a lot different than the kind you probably go to. It doesn't have machines to set up the pins. In the olden days, a boy would sit in the back here, safely off to the side. When the ball came down, he would pick up the ball and send it back to the bowler and set up the pins by hand. It was hard work. "Hello, son," said John's mother. "We heard you had a busy day. Did you earn enough money to go to the fair?" I have 75 cents, Mama, said John with a smile. I can go to the fair, and I can ride the Ferris wheel, too. And his parents are pretty proud of him. Your mother and I are very proud of you, said Papa. You worked hard, so we want you to have this. And Papa gave John a shiny new quarter. So the last thing we're going to put is another quarter in the piggy bank. And on our list, for service, what do you think we should write here? Number 5. I think we could write something like, being a good worker, and he earned 25 more cents. So boys and girls, if we add all these numbers together, we're going to get $1. So John was able to perform the services, earn his income, and get the dollar he needed to go to the fair. So let's kind of review what we learned. We know that John needed money. He didn't have money. So first of all, he had to earn money, and he had to keep that money in his pocket, just like you kept money in your wallet. And he kept that money until it was time to go to the fair. He saved it. Now, oftentimes we save money in our piggy banks, don't we? But once in a while, that piggy bank is going to get so full that you can't even put another coin in it. And that's the time when you should take that money and go to the bank and open a savings account. A savings account is a place where you can save your money for big things like maybe a bike or a video game, or maybe something even more important like going on a camping trip. So you save your money, put it in the bank, and it's always there, it's always safe. No one can take it. Now you might say, well, what if someone robs the bank? Well, even if they rob the bank can get money from a different bank to give back to you. Your money will always be there when you need it. Now we have another activity, boys and girls, to kind of finish up. And each of you is going to get one of these sheets, and there are 4 boxes. And in these 4 boxes, you're going to draw a picture of the first thing John did to earn income, the second thing he did, the third thing he did, and the fourth thing he did. Draw very neatly. Remember, you can look at your sheet where you had everything listed about stacking apples and sweeping the porch if you forgot what were the different services that he did. You're going to draw a picture of those services, and in this little box, you're going to write how much income he earned by doing those services. And you can kind of walk around the room while the kids are drawing their pictures. I don't think you'll have time for any of the other activities. The teacher has those as a follow-up for a future day. But feel free to review the ideas of how important it is to save, and of course bring up the idea of how important it is to save larger amounts of money in a bank and how safe a savings account is. And feel free to talk to the children about savings experiences that you've had, or even about saving experiences that they've had. Kids at this age like to respond and answer questions, and I'm sure they'd like to get involved in a conversation about that sort of thing with you. Again, thank you very much for participating.